Picked up some new free toys. Got some ideas. 2008 Kawasaki 90. Got a locked up engine. It's a common Honda GY6 clone. I'm not worried about the engine. The width of the axle. Outside tires, almost 35 inches. And a standard riding mower, outside to outside, about 35. So I think I'm going to pull the engine off, hack the frame up, extend the wheelbase another foot to match the footprint of a mower. And I'm going to put the independent front, live axle rear under a lawnmower. This one I picked up. It's in relatively good shape besides dry rot tires, no cutting deck. Has a 17 horse single cylinder, supposed to run. Never tried it. It's a hydrostatic, hand operated. Don't need none of that. If I go with this mower, body's in good shape. It's a heavy duty mower frame, your standard 42 to 46 inch cut. Also picked up this one from the same location. It's a Yard Machines. Has no motor. I believe the engine that's on that one came from this one. This is a thin, light duty frame. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and throw all the four-wheeler suspension onto this one. Put a Predator 212 up front with a torque converter and a forward neutral reverse gearbox live axle. Get rid of the cutting deck. I'm probably going to lower the seat as low as I can get it. And I'm also going to use the ATV steering. I'm probably going to lower the column, chop the hood down. If I always want a racing mower project, I think this one will be perfect for it. I was going to do it with the Sabre. Sabre is going to be a future project. It's got a 5-speed. It'll probably just be a standard, what they call a racing mower. They just do a pulley swap and run the 5-speed. I'll probably do that later on down the line. But these two were free off the side of the road. I went and picked up this one. The woman who owned the house come stop me and say, "Hey, you want another one?" I said, "I sure do." I picked up that one. This one has the MTD FNR. I pulled both of them home with my four-wheeler, about a mile. Pulling at 15 miles an hour, the transmission was smoking so bad. I guess there's not enough oil in the rear end, or the combination of the grass packed on top of it. Years of grease and oil. Smoke was pouring out from under the pulley on top of the case. So I couldn't handle 15 miles an hour in neutral. And the hydrostatic, I've done the same thing. I released the hydraulics. Pulled it about 15 miles an hour. It seemed to be fine, which I didn't really care if I burn up this, I believe it's a K46, hand operated. I have four trains like that. I don't really care for them. I just got to decide which mower I want to do. The prettier Craftsman or the beater Yard Machine that's lighter. As far as body width, I think the body is about the same width. This one was about 29 inches. The end of the fenders. And oh, yeah, this one's 31, 32. So if I go with this one, I'm gonna have a pretty much just like this, a lot of tar hanging out over the frame. Let's see. Yeah, the axle is about the same, about 35-inch width. So that'll leave me a lot of ATV tires sticking out. But I could make it a wide body. I have enough body panels to do patchwork, get rid of all that. Yeah, I believe this is the one I'm gonna go with. It's not a project I'm gonna be doing right away. I still have to build the body on for the dump cart. Still remodeling the interior of my house and working 6 days a week. I really need to finish the dump cart. I've used it quite a few times. Does what it's supposed to do. I need to tighten the belt. I can spin it by hand without spinning the engine. It's real loose, but it still doesn't slip. I did lower the exhaust as well, because, you know, until I put my seat on, I'm sitting on top of the engine, and with the muffler here, it was just some warm buns. This helped quite a bit with that. And to leave enough clearance for the engine to slide, where the muffler's not going to hit anything, where the whole engine plate can still slide. I would like to find the time to finish the body panels on this before I start another project. But this is going to be my next big project. I'm going to try to do it differently. Instead of showing pictures and talking about what I did, I'm going to try to do like a build series, like as I go. It's very hard for me to do. I don't have a shop right now. My shop got destroyed for Hurricane Ida. And I really don't want to build it out here in the woods. Although it's quiet, but I would have to haul the generator, which will make it not quiet, to run my welding machine. I do have a little plasma cutter, sawzalls. But I think what I'm going to try to do is strip this down, get the engine off. I'm going to cut the top half of the frame, I guess right here, to get rid of this whole top section. I'm going to have to extend the length to match the wheelbase of a mower. The benefit about using the little yard machines, the axle stops at the front of the frame. Whereas on standard mowers, the frame goes way further. So I think it'll be easier to transplant and a lighter overall build. Throw everything on this little yard machines. These frames are very thin, which is going to make it light. I can stiffen it up a little, but I want to keep it light. So I'm not really going to say it's a racing mower. It's going to be more like a go-kart. If I can get 20 miles an hour out of it from a 212, I'd be happy. I've seen videos where people done a similar setup. They put a 212 on it, but they put the engine in underneath the pan. Add a little bit of weight in the front. They put a live axle on the rear, similar to what I'm doing with a torque converter, and they're getting 40-50 miles an hour out of it. I don't think I want to go that fast. All the brakes work. Rear brakes, front brakes, that's all operational. These Kawasaki's have really stiff suspension, so I may try and get a softer set of shocks. I'm going to have to relocate the rear shock from a forward lean to a rear lean, because my seat on the mower is going to come down into here. And if I leave the shock in its current position, that's going to stop me from lowering the seat as low as I want it, I think. Yeah, it will. That would put the shock. So leaving its current position, this mower has an enlarged hump. It will put the shock directly under here, which will stop me from dropping the seat down lower. Which I may better work around that. I may better drop the seat pan down around the shock, to where the shock will be between my legs. good place for it. Yeah, I normally hate these mowers. I normally avoid them. They're just made so cheap and flimsy and not real good machines. But in this case, I think I found its purpose. I'm missing the headlight lens, so I'll have to do something about the headlight. I may just replace a whole flat panel. I don't have a charging system. All the Predators I have are the Hemi versions. And it's not cheap to put a charging system on the Hemi versions. So I don't think I'll be running battery for lights. I do have a GM single wire alternator, but it's bulky. But I believe I should have the room, if I chose to go that route, I should have the room to fit a Predator in here with a torque converter, a reverse gearbox, because none of the steering is going to be in the way. The column's going to get gutted. I'm going to shorten the column from this height to about down to here. Shorten the hood height, as low profile as I can. I would like to get started on it soon. I can't make that promise. Got so much going on right now. I guess this video is just sort of a teaser. I'll post a video when I get started on it. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do a little build series, showing where I'm cutting, what I'm doing. I'm undecided if I'm gonna weld this to the frame or weld some angle line brackets to the four-wheeler frame to where it's bolt on to the lawnmower, which really doesn't matter. I don't plan on swapping out the body, so I just soon weld it on. And I may even try to utilize that exhaust for the 212. I'm not looking for speed or performance. If I was, I wouldn't have bought the Hemis. I would have got a regular Predator, but I find the Hemis are much smoother running engines, less vibration than a non-Hemi. And if you're leaving the engine box stock, the Hemi's the route to go. If you're looking to modify, go with the non-Hemi. They do make a lot of parts for the non-Hemi. Your biggest factor that I'm aware of is if you want to put a charging system and electric start, it's more costly on a Hemi due to the taper on the flywheel being different than a non-Hemi. The non-Hemi electric start kits are about $100 for a Hemi. There's people that made it work. They use valve grinding compound and keep spinning the flywheel and the crank until the taper matches. You got to do a little work on the keyway. Where the non-Hemi is a direct bolt. Everything bolts on. Some other people use a flywheel from I think a 7-horse Kohler. It has this Hemi version has the same crankshaft taper as a Kohler, so the Kohler flywheels fit right on. But that's an expensive flywheel. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. All this junk's gonna pay off and give me something to ride in all these woods. Catch you on the next vid.